This costs about $35, but it could save your family's life. 49 states require this device in new homes. Everyone but Indiana. Some say it's too expensive. Investigative reporter Bob Siegel shows you what this is and why most Hoosiers have never heard about it, and why Indiana is the only state where it is not required.
We've all seen pictures of burned-up houses.
Golf clubs, clothes.
But when it's your house...
My wife's car was in here and it burned up too.
Somehow it's very different.
You're just shaking your head. That's the master bedroom, or what's left of it. See our beautiful cathedral ceilings we have now.
David Wachtel lost just about everything a few weeks ago.
All our furniture is gone, TVs, electronics, all that stuff is toast.
Fire ripped through his house on the northwest side of Indianapolis. $200,000 in damage. And fire inspectors say they know how it happened.
It had arcing that took place.
Steve Jones is the Pike Township Fire Marshal. He says inside an outlet in the front of the house, an arc of electricity sparked the fire. But it all took place behind a wall. No one could tell the house was on fire until the hidden flames began spreading from room to room. And by then, it was too late.
It's scary to think that we have an occupied home with a fire going on, and the people that live there day in, day out don't know the fire's going on. And I have a device here that would eliminate a lot of those. I believe that this would have prevented this fire.
The device is called an arc fault circuit interrupter, or AFCI. It's a high-tech circuit breaker. Unlike a regular circuit breaker in your home right now, an AFCI is designed to detect electric arcs that can cause a fire, like a chair that's pinching an electrical cord, or a wire that's been accidentally pierced by a nail. Electrical problems like that cause more than 30,000 fires each year, along with hundreds of deaths and thousands of injuries.
I've seen a number of homes that are burnt, and they're bad fires.
David Stauff is Chief Electrical Inspector in Gary. He's a big fan of AFCIs because, he says, an electrical fault inside your home can be devastating.
It will lead to a fire. So these are, in effect, fire prevention devices. And that's why I'm sold on it.
This inspector is not alone. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, Underwriters Laboratories, and every major fire safety organization in the country all recommend AFCIs to prevent house fires. And 49 states now require the technology in new homes. 49 out of 50 states. The only state not on board is Indiana.
We are the only state in the country that has deleted or taken out the arc fault circuit interrupter requirements.
Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
But it does make sense to Indiana's Fire Prevention and Building Safety Commission. In recent years, this commission has repeatedly rejected any mandate requiring AFCI protection in new homes.
The cost was too high to justify.
David Hannum chairs the commission, and he says the price tag of this technology is a big concern. An AFCI costs about $35. Compare that to just $5 for a normal circuit breaker. That means a circuit box full of AFCIs could add hundreds of dollars to the price of a new home. And Hannum says some commission members aren't even convinced they work.
The technology is not as developed as we would like it to be.
But watch this test. Those sparks are coming from an electric current with an arcing fault, just like the fault that destroyed this home. A regular circuit breaker doesn't detect the danger, but when we connect the overheated circuit to an AFCI, the circuit trips within 2 seconds.
This technology stops the fire before it starts, as you saw in this demonstration.
Russ Sanders of the National Fire Protection Association.
The technology's sound, it does work, it does prevent fires, and it does save lives.
I can't say it's not proven that they prevent fires. We just didn't see the direct link between life safety and the cost.
Keep in mind, AFCIs have been around for more than a decade, and 49 other states do think they're important. That's why here in Indiana, some firefighters and building inspectors are growing impatient to get the technology added to state code.
I'd like to see it changed right away.
We need to have these in our homes.
But some commission members argue if you want an AFCI in your home, you can simply go out and get one. So forcing the issue with a new requirement is not necessary.
People could buy them right now and they're not on a voluntary basis. So that kind of tells us something.
How many people even know what an arc fault circuit interrupter is? How would they know to even ask the question or understand?
Quite frankly, before you mentioned this to me, I'd never heard of this thing before.
David Wachtel wishes he had heard of arc fault circuit interrupters.
That's the circuit box that was done just 18 months ago.
He just replaced all of his circuit breakers last year, and David says he would have gladly paid extra for AFCIs.
I would have done it.
If you had known about it.
Absolutely.
When David rebuilds this house, he says you better believe it will have arc fault circuit interrupters.
If this fire had happened in the middle of the night, I wouldn't be talking to you. I mean, I'm not sure we would have survived. Why would you want to gamble with your whole life like that?
The Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates AFCIs could prevent half of all electrical fires, saving dozens, even hundreds of lives each year. But the Indiana Home Builders Association believes these things have a shaky track record and are just too expensive. All sides will be able to weigh in at a public hearing that will take place in Indianapolis this fall. I'm Bob Siegel, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.